Dave needs to say a little bit too about our prison reentry program. That's really something that is fairly new in terms of pulling it all together, but it's been going on around the country for many, many years.
You know, Pope Francis obviously visited prisoners once he was here in America, and I actually got a letter from a prisoner talking about how that had moved him. He wanted copies of that event, and I sent him the talk. I sent him several copies of it that he could distribute to other prisoners. So they're looking for something too, and you're reaching out to prisoners to help them to take the next step up.
Right. For many years we've done what we call prison ministry, visiting people in prison and providing them some hope and helping them to transition where we could as they become a returning citizen. Almost 20% of poverty in America can be traced back to incarceration. With different sentencing guidelines and just mass incarceration, a lot of people get charged with a felony. After they pay their debt to society, though, they're often in a situation where they still can't get a job when they come back home because they carry this record with them. We're active now in 5 different states to look at removing those barriers for these returning citizens to have an easier transition back home. In some cases, we're doing what we call ban the box. When you go for a job, often there on the application it says, have you been convicted of a felony? You check that box, the employer might just throw the application away. We'd rather that everyone have a chance to have an interview, and then they'll get a background check later, and they'll probably tell their story about their felony in the interview process.
Right.
So we want to even that playing field. We're also looking at restoring driver's licenses and helping people returning out of prison to have a real pathway. We find that if they're successful, even just for the first 72 hours, and then over 30 days and 60 days, they have a much better chance. Just in 2015, in 10 months, we've worked with about 600 returning citizens through this process, and not a single one has returned back to prison. That's amazing. I like
that you're using the term returning citizen, not ex-con.
Right.
So it's like, let's help them to return to citizenship, to living that more fully.
Right. We feel you shouldn't have to carry that identity as a felon through the rest of your life. You've paid your debt. It's time to start fresh and to be seen as that fresh person.